Welcome. Look at this. This will be new pond 136. Very nice. We got the first pond here is pretty shallow. We'll try it. We'll drop a worm down the middle, but the ultimate destination will be around these islands, and there's a bigger pond that's deeper, and we're gonna head out there. I think I gotta wait for this rain. I gotta wait an hour for rain, but we're gonna head out there, try to catch trout. I'll see you on the water. I made a fresh hook here. The other one, I've been using it for a few ponds now, so we'll put a fresh one on. Just gonna add a split shot. Alright, ready to out. This first pond that we're going across isn't very deep, and so we're gonna go directly to a deeper pond. Oh, one of the islands has a camp on it. Huh. I'm surprised. We're in this thoroughfare. That island has a camp too. Oh, it's semi-abandoned. The door's open. That's a shack, really. Well, we're in the thoroughfare. There's an island here. And I don't see a cabin on it. I might get out and look. Well, we've made landfall on an island. The first two islands had cabins on them, but we pulled up to the third one, and here we are. I'm just looking, exploring, see if maybe we could camp here. It's pretty private. I could maybe put a tent up on this rock. There's not quite enough room though. Here's the lake we're going to. Wow. Right now it's calm, but I have a feeling that will change. There it is. If I had to, I could set my tent up right here. Be very tight quarters. But we might find something better. I'm tempted to sleep where I left my car, in the car also. Alright, back to it. We ran aground. Alright, we're through. bite on the worm. I got one. Yes. Oh, baby. That's a nice fish. Nice. Beautiful fish. That did not take long. Okay, we're gonna cook this thing up. Alright, we're gonna do an official measurement. This one's another kind of skinny trout. That's a 14. I'm just gonna show you the fish in the sun. Beautiful brook trout. His teeth are bigger than his body should be. So I think the trout are probably competing heavily with other fish in here for food. Alright, we are on the board. I'm going to cast another worm down, let it sink. Bite on the worm again. Yep, we got one. This one feels smaller. That's another trout. Beauty. Definitely smaller. Second little trout. Oh, that's a splake. See the tail? This one's a splake. I'm gonna put him back though. Straight back down. I didn't measure that one. That was probably a 12. It's raining just west of us. But I think it's gonna miss us for now anyway. Beautiful day to be out here. Man. I thought it was going to be a little bit windier today, and so I figured this would be the biggest pond I can go to without the wind being a problem, because I was going to go to a bigger one, which hopefully I'll do tomorrow, but we'll see. We're drifting to shore so I can clean the trout, and while we do that, I'm going to give you a tour. This is New Pond 136. We're out here in the larger, deeper basin. We had to canoe through that thoroughfare there. The car is on the other side of that island, on the other side of the other pond. And we caught 2 fish so far. This one here is the brook trout, which we kept, and we also caught a splake. It was smaller, and we're using a spoon on one side and a worm on the other side, both down at the bottom. Well, we came ashore. We came ashore on New Pond 136. And the reason we did is to clean our trout. There's our trout. Beautiful fish. Pretty dark on top and kind of red. A little bit skinny. But yeah, I'm gonna get this cleaned. That way the meat doesn't spoil. And then I'm gonna go back out there and do some more fishing. I've got all my stuff in the canoe in case I wanted to go camping out here somewhere. Little tiny minnows of some kind in the belly. Here's our clean brook trout. 14 on the button. This red squirrel is under the impression that we are trespassing. Just in case he's right, I'm gonna get back out on the water, do a little more fishing. There's a chance we can catch a salmon, that's why I'm still fishing. Any more trout I catch will be released unless they're injured. I'll see you out there. Yeah, we're leaving. Well, we just had a bite right out here, so we can go right back out there. So peaceful out here. Nobody else is on the water today, as is usual for us. More than half the time anyway. I wonder if there's less people fishing nowadays. Probably not though, huh? We're getting a bite, I think. I got one. That's another brook trout. That's a 13. Oh, there's a fish right in front of us. There he goes. He took off. There's a fish right here. Oh, he hit. Shoot. I'm gonna reel him in, go through the thoroughfare, and then drop him down again. white perch. Yeah, it's not bad size for white perch. One of the bigger ones. Look, he was using his bait. You see that? You can see where he was hooked like this. Look. Like you put a bait hook right through there, don't you think? When he was a lot smaller and then it healed over. I don't know. We'll put it back though. Alright, now we're going through. Oh, there's the eagle. He's in that pine tree. See him up there? Yeah, I knew I saw him. Right there. We're back to the boat launch. I wonder where that eagle's gonna go. I wonder what he's gonna do for the night. But anyways, I'm gonna get my canoe loaded back up, and then I'm gonna cook up the trout right here, I think. Well, we got our camp stove out, and I'm right next to the water here, and I'm gonna cook up this trout. But before we do that, I have to go get some birch bark. We are right next to the logging road. I'd rather be further removed from the logging road, but here's some birch bark. That must have came off the logging truck. Oh, that's plenty. Holy smokes. I get the trout in there with about a ½ inch of water. I'm doing the same as I always do, so. That's a barred owl that you can hear. We got the garlic and herb all-purpose seasoning. Got our trout cooking up. I'd say it's about half done. I just flipped it. I think that's done. Well, we got our trout cooked. It's pretty good. Not the best I've ever had, but that was my fault. I think I overcooked it. You can see every star from out here. It's crazy. Well, I polished off the trout. It's pretty good. The fire's out, and I'm just gonna go to bed. I'll wake up first thing and do some more fishing. I'm not exactly sure where, but we'll figure that out tomorrow. See you in the morning. Good morning. A little foggy out there this morning. We're still at New Pond 136. We camped out in the car last night, right next to this logging road. And the logging trucks were rolling through starting at 3 a.m. But anyways, it's time for some coffee. And I think I'm gonna try to boil water with just this birch bark. So we'll see how that goes. I think this is going faster, but it's definitely a lot smokier. The birch bark puts out black smoke. Oh, we're almost there. It's only been a minute. We still have that much left. Not bad. I think it left more like creosote on the... Yeah. They get caked with creosote though. Here's the inlet. Just a trickle at the moment. There's another pond up here a little ways. I can hear him, but I can't see him. Oh, there he is. Yes. Alright, look. This is where he eats his breakfast. Yeah, the remnants of a pine cone. I think that's a white pine cone, nice and long. And it is near this white pine tree, which he is also in. There's another one. He likes to have his breakfast with a view, just like us. Alright, I think our coffee's done. Let's see here. How'd we do? Pretty much done. Got a little more though. Oh yeah. That's good. A couple of ducks flying away. It might actually be hunting season. They're two different creatures. In June, you can canoe right up to them. This time of year, you poke your head out from here to the other shore and they fly away. Can you see the water there? It's kind of brown. This pond had a brownish tint to it, which usually is, from my experience, is either because there's a bog somewhere, like up the inlet somewhere, or on the edge of the pond somewhere. That can make it brown. And then the other reason it's brown is if they used to do log drives, all the bark falling off the logs, or the logs that end up sinking to the bottom, and then their bark decays. I'm not sure if they did log drives here or not. I didn't really see evidence of it when I was going through the thoroughfare. Before I leave, I'm going to put the drone up again. This time we're going to go fly it this way to get a look at the other pond up here. We'll get a look at it from the air to see if it's something we'll want to go to. I have a feeling it's going to be a springtime pond for me, because that's when the trout will be in there. I think for the summer, this trout probably come down the outlet here and end up in this pond, in the pond we were in last night. So this bridge here is where we are. That's the inlet to the pond that we fished, and the outlet to this one we're gonna go look at. Which, yeah, it's really not that far away, huh? I think if I go up this logging road, there's probably a trail from the road to the pond. This one's probably worth checking out in the spring. Yeah, that doesn't look very deep. Alright, I'm gonna pack these last few things up in the car and head out of here. And I'm not sure exactly where I'm going, but we will be at the water somewhere. See you in a bit. Welcome. Look at this. Beautiful. This will be new pond 137. Got a few cabins, a few camps, but mostly undeveloped. We're gonna head out here and try to catch trout. I think it's gonna be a little bit tough though. This is a mostly shallow pond. There's one deep hole which we're gonna head to, but I think it's gonna be a tough nut to crack. That won't stop us though. We're gonna try. I think there's a couple islands. There's one right here, and then there's one right there, and I think I'm gonna camp on the island, one of them. I don't know if there'll be a campsite or not. I'm gonna get the canoe down and load it up. I'll see you on the water. We're off. There's a mile to go to get to our island. This is the island that I'm hoping to camp on. I went right past this smaller one, but we can go check that out if we don't find a suitable clearing on this one. But the reason I want to be on this one is because our deep water is right out here, halfway between these two islands. Well, we're on the smaller island. The bigger island had a cabin on it. Let's check out this one. See what we can find. There's a birdhouse. Some birch bark. Oh yeah, this looks nice actually. Look at this. Little clearing here. Oh, I think this would be nice. Put our tent right here. And we'll be fishing right out here. Oh, look at this. There's a cleat in the stone. Very nice. If that canoe goes anywhere, I'll be going for a swim. And there's one stand of birch trees. It was sawed 6 feet up. Kind of weird. Unless it broke. No, that's definitely sawed. I wonder what the reasoning behind that is. Well, I just went for a swim. The water was a little bit chilly. Here we are, it's mid-September. I went for a swim more. It was more like to rinse off after being in the woods for a day. I brought my sleeping bag, tent, that's in that bag. I'm thinking the trout will still be in the deep part, but at yesterday's pond they were kind of a little shallower than I thought they'd be. So we'll see about today. I'm kind of liking this island. It's got everything you need. No fire ring, but we only need a little tiny fire for the camp stove. Look at that wind turbine that's not moving. Doesn't that look like Darth Vader's starship coming for us? The Emperor? Dun dun dun. I won't set up my tent until tonight because I don't want to draw attention to the fact that we're here. We've approached the deep water and I've dropped a worm down. Right now it's about 25 feet down, and on this side I'm doing the usual where I cast it, let it sink, and then reel it in. I think we're getting a bite already. A little tiny something. No bueno. We are approaching another island. I see some type of stone structure, probably a fire pit. I don't see a cabin yet. We've made landfall. Where I went swimming is this little one to the left of the bigger one. There's another medium-sized one here. This looks like an island too. And I don't see any cabins yet. We're gonna go up and look. There's a picnic table. This is like a campsite. Wow. Look at this. Now I could move over here if I want. Wow, this big table's huge. I like big picnic tables. You could fit a ton of people at this one. 10 people easily. But I kind of like the island that I left my stuff at too. It's kind of cool to be on a little tiny one. Lobster bait. That was probably originally filled with alewives or herring or mackerel or something. I'm almost back out to the deep water. It's 4:30. Oh, there's a nice fish, finally. This could be our trout. No, it's a perch. I'm gonna put it back. There's only one turbine still spinning. Oh, the eagle's flying around. That's why those loons are calling. We're approaching our island. There go the geese. We're on our island. Let me get this tent set up. Oh, there we go. Not bad. There's another barred owl. I hear those every night, even in urban areas. Alright, well, I'm just going to put the fly on and go to sleep. We don't have any fish to cook. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. We are on our island campsite. It's about 6:30. And I'm going to head out right now and back out to the deep spot, try to catch trout. And then after a little while, I'll come back here and make some coffee and pack up my tent. I will see you on the water. We're off. Foggy morning today. I hate to skip coffee, but it's the prime time. We'll make coffee when we pack up our tent. Oh, baby, this is a nice fish. It's a perch. Good sized one though, huh? That's a pretty good sized perch. The big ones are out in the morning, huh? We're definitely seeing a difference in the size of the perch from last night to today. They must be morning fish. There's a bald eagle up in the top of the dead tree on that island. A little noisy here this morning. They're still working on that logging road behind me. That's the island we stayed on. If you look closely, you can see my red tent on the smaller island. I was anxious to get out here and go fishing, but we gotta stop back at the island to make some coffee and pack up my tent. We're almost at, I think we have 2 worms left, so I'm gonna fish until the worms are gone. That was a nice little island to camp on. Can you see the tent there? Let's go pack it up. That's good. Good coffee. Better late than never. Well, I'm gonna pack up the tent. I got the tent put away. I poured water, like I always do, in the area where I use the camp stove. And yeah, I am headed back to the car. We are going all the way over to that shadow in the tree line. That's the boat launch. We got the Volvo loaded up and we're headed out. Farewell to New Pond 137. We were unable to catch trout. I kind of threw everything at them. I did some trolling. I did the spoon down, the worm down. I switched to a minnow at the end, a float minnow. I probably should have dip netted some of these minnows here and used them, but oh well. I mean, we know trout like that spoon, especially brook trout, and we know they will eat a worm, so I think it was just a tough pond, which I knew going into this. But hey, those white perch weren't bad. 3 of them were decent size.